am here to do your work, and I thank you for your continued energetic gifts. Greetings! Een Lak'esh, Alakeen. I am another you, you are another me. We are one God-sciousness. Adam, Apollo, I am so privileged to be able to do your Mayan embodiment astrology. Thank you for allowing me this pleasure. You, sir, as you already know, I had no idea when I emailed you that you knew probably more than I do about the Mayan sacred science of time. So you also knew your Mayan birthday already. Hopefully today, though, I'm going to be able to show you some things that you didn't know before. Now, tone 3, 1, 2, 3 dots means busy, busy, busy. It's called activating in my terminology. And of course, the jaguar shaman is really the shaman. Maybe more than the jaguar, although, to be fair, virtually all Mayan shaman take the jaguar as their primary spirit animal. They always have one or two more, or even things like the wind or sand. Now, one of the key characteristics of the jaguar is its feminine connection to Mother Earth and the rituals that humanity needs to reconnect and to stay connected to the goddess. And again, the number 3 is also connected with femininity and the kitchen, and the 3 hearthstones in the kitchen are directly connected to the Orion star system. Very interesting for you, sir. Now, your birthday exemplar's name, the only person I have found so far, is Ms. Barbara McClintock. She passed away quite some time ago, but she was a scientist in cytogeneticism. Cytogenetics, I suppose you would say. She won the Nobel Prize. She was brilliant, as are you, sir. Now, being tone 3 of the 14th glyph means you are Een 94. And 3, 2, 1, 14, 13, 12. The 12th glyph is called the Traveler. So you are the 3rd day of the Traveler wave flow. All wave flows look like this, and you are primarily connected to the solar plexus chakra, although the jaguar shaman is, of course, connected with all of the chakras. But I think for you, there's a little bit more of that pull into the 3rd, which is, in brief, willpower and people power. I'd say you got a double dose of both, mister. Now, One thing I always do is create high vibration phrases for my clients based on combining keywords from the glyph and key code words from the tones. And I put them together in what I like to call high vibration phrases, which I already mentioned. And normally it's 1 and 1, but for some reason, what happened with you in a couple of cases when I was doing your chart is I needed to put more than 1 and 1 together sometimes. So, let's talk about your first 3 that relate to your core self, which is activating Jaguar Shaman. The 3 that came through for me, for you, are energetic counselor, feminine protector, and activating healing. So these are your core self. They will be with you your whole life. And now what I'm going to explain is your 4 guides. These come from the Mayan destiny path, or the Mayan cross, or the Mayan tree of life astrology. And one day in meditation, trying to figure that system out, I had been studying it for a couple of years, and it hadn't quite grokked in yet. And I went into meditation, and blammo, this happened to me. And I literally felt my right hand being gripped tightly and my left hand gently cradling the left hand of my divine feminine guide. Divine masculine guide over here, divine feminine guide. And I was feeling the thoughts of my past wisdom guide, and my mind was projecting into the future vision guide perspective. So that's what I'm going to show you, those 4 other guides. And for each of those positions, I create high vibration phrases. So here we go. I'm also going to tell you your other birthday exemplars for each position. Isn't that fun? And as you will see in your case, it's like, what? In a couple positions, it's just like, oh my gosh. So cool. All right, so here's the way we do it. When you're born on tone 3, anyone born on tone 3 has the past wisdom guide tone of 8. So the order goes 8, 9, 10, 11. Isn't that interesting? And for you to get to your past wisdom guide glyph, you count back 8. You're the 14th glyph called Jaguar Shaman. 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. 6th glyph is reincarnation. And we already said it's tone 8, bar and 3 dots, which means harmonizing. Your past wisdom guide is called Harmonizing Reincarnation. Your 2 birthday exemplars for your past wisdom guide are Bill Gates and Robin Williams. What? I'm grappling with how Bill Gates and Robin Williams have the exact same Mayan birthday of harmonizing reincarnation. Whew, it is quite fascinating to me. Now, here are the high vibration phrases, and this was the main one for you, sir, that I had to combine more than one word from in each phrase. So here we go. Regeneration through death and rebirth. Transformation. This glyph is sometimes called death, but that is just not the real picture. It is reincarnation, and what it means is transformation through death and rebirth. And tone 8 means regeneration. It is the most popular day for all public ceremonies in the Mayan world. So that's high vibration phrase number 1. Number 2 is creating compatibility with your ancestors through forgiveness. There it goes, man. See what's happening here? The hair standing up. You know, like if I didn't tell you any other thing about your whole anything but that you, in your past wisdom guide, have the energy of creating compatibility with your ancestors through forgiveness. And I'm done. Thank you. Bye-bye. Boop. It's here in your chart. I'm not making this up. I mean, I kind of am, but it's just the way that I am able to see into the chart that cannot be seen in any other way, in my humble opinion. Phrase number 3, finding fairness with Milky Way karma creates serenity. Now you, sir, as many others who are watching this may know, have had past life memories in numerous star systems in the Milky Way. And I feel that you already have this tranquility, which could also be used instead of or alongside of serenity. You have this serene presence about being here in an earth, human, Gaian body and finding fairness through all this Star Wars drama we all went through with the reptilians and the everythings. All right, you know this way more than me. I have a very small perspective so far. All right, so 8 of the 6th glyph. Now we go to 9, and to get to your future, your divine feminine, you go 6 forward from 14. 14 plus 6 is 20. The 20th glyph is Ahau, and called Achpu in Guatemalan pronunciation. I kind of like Ahau better than Achpu, but you know, whatever. Both are correct. There's probably others we know nothing about due to the book burnings, but we forgive them. Now, 9 means patient. It also means many other things, but the word that we like to call this one glyph, is patient. It is sort of a glyph in a way. It's 4 dots and a bar, and that's a glyph. It's not the picture glyph, it's the tone glyph. All right? Yeah, yay! I didn't make a mistake. And Ahau is the solar chief, or sun goddess. And for you, it's in your divine feminine position, and it's kind of intense. Patient sort of softens the intensity of Ahau, which has a lot of high energy vibrations to it. So your divine feminine guide has the following 3 high vibration phrases. Sacred feminine mastery provides ecstasy. Lightworker, teamwork. And Eyes on the golden age of consciousness prize. All comes to you through your divine feminine energies. Isn't that fascinating? Remember, I told you that your core self is very feminine. Tone 3 is feminine, and the Jaguar Shaman is second only in feminine quotient to the 19th glyph, the rainstorm. But we don't need to talk about her right now. The 20th glyph is pretty intense, not particularly feminine. But tone 9 rounds it out. Why? 9 is 9 lunar cycles in the Tzolk'in. 9 times 29 is 261. And the Tzolk'in, being a representation of DNA, one human baby is made during this cycle, approximate average number. So 9 is very connected to the moon and femininity. And the Tzolk'in itself, it's such a beautiful energy for you here. And what was that? Sacred feminine mastery provides ecstasy? Wow. You probably know more about that than I do. Of course you do. It's your birthday thingy. Now, 8, 9, 10. 10 is 2 palms going together. Wait! I didn't tell you who your birthday exemplar is. Who could possibly be a patient solar chief? This is going to freak you out. Remember who these two were? Your divine feminine guide is Steve Jobs. What? Oh my God. This is freaking me out. And it was just when I found this out that I thought, you know what? If you could possibly take Bill Gates and combine him with Robin Williams, you would get Steve Jobs. Steve was kind of funny and such an entertainer, and then so brilliant. And it's just, you see what I mean here? I'm sure no one on planet Earth has ever thought of that before. And now everyone's thinking it who's watching this video. But can't you see it? It's totally true. Bill Gates, Robin Williams, Steve Jobs. There it is. It happened. And they're right there in your chart. Fascinating. Oops. Gotta keep this candle going. That's what I do. It almost went out. Oh, I gotta restart it. Boo, 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 boo. By relighting this candle, I am continuing the ceremony with Adam Apollo. The wax was still wet. Okay, now we slide across the heart chakra, going from your divine feminine to your divine masculine, which is your public face. This is your more intimate self, which can be private, but what I'm finding with most high energy people is that they have already integrated their divine feminine and divine masculine into their core self. So they are fully able to be intimate and powerfully outwards all the time. So for you, going over to tone 10, 2 hands, praying and working, like getting busy with both hands is your divine masculine quality. And so we're on the 14th glyph of Jaguar Shaman, and we go back 6. Remember, we went forward 6 to your divine feminine. We go back 6, which means technically The future is feminine. You go forward 6 steps to your divine feminine guide and 8 steps to your future vision guide. The future is feminine in the Mayan calendar. And the past is masculine. Go 6 steps back from 14, you get 8. The 8th glyph is the star, which I like to call Starseed. Your divine masculine guide, birthday exemplar is, you're going to freak out here. Here we go. Elon Musk. What? Holy fuck, man. Your guide's here. Elon. And, just to round it out a little bit, Kate Winslet. Isn't that interesting? If you could take Elon Musk and Kate Winslet and put them together, I don't know what would happen. Who would that make? It's hard to say. I'll have to think about it a little more and get back to you. But here are your 3 high vibration phrases. Co-creating through the codes of life. A wayshower of harmony on the middle path. And abundant prosperity, which you could also say is prosperous abundance. It's right there. The more you get out there and do your masculine thing, you are pulling in prosperous abundance. It's in the cards, dude. It's fate. It's the way it is. You already know this. See, that's the thing. Even though you knew your Mayan astrology years ago, I think it was 2005, you said, you spent 5 days in ceremony with Mayan elders and learning all about all things Mayan and the specific differences between the true count, indigenous genius from the Pleiades, divine Mayan Zolk'in, and the dream spell, among other things. 8, 9, 10, 11. And remember I said you go 8 from 14, 20, 2 more. 2, tone 2 is the second glyph, not tone 2. 11, tone 11. Now here we need to talk a little bit, my friend. I had yet another vision that tone 6 is best to be seen upside down as a rolla bola, and tone 11 is therefore a double stacked rolla bola. Take it or leave it. It's just one perspective, but I think it adds a lot of a vibrational encoding information. Your future is tone 11 of the breath glyph. Breath is for spiritual communication, the divine breath of life. Tone 11, where do we see double-stacked rolla bolas, sir? Who uses them? Masters in the circus. It's not for the faint of heart. And here's the cool thing about all tone 3 people have tone 11 as their future vision guide. So some people not so good at it. This is why tone 3 has been called some things that are not very strong, because everyone born on tone 3 has tone 11 as their future vision guide, and that's super tricky. But as I've been explaining, all people who are fairly high vibration, and here's fairly high vibration, You just went off the camera. You're up there, dude. You know this. So you are on your circus double stack rollabola. Now, I have to say, this takes more precedence in your life after the age of 42, which for you is in 1 year-ish from now. I just checked, and 1 day before your 42nd birthday will be activating Jaguar Shaman. For some people, it depends on the leap year situation. Some people, their 42nd birthday is the only time they ever exactly line up again. For you, it's 1 day before. Doesn't really matter. The point is this. From age of 42 until the age of 52, your future vision guide will be calling you more and more. So this circus performing double stacked rollabola, speaking of spirit, spiritual communications, will become more and more effectual in your life, starting next birthday, although all of them have been in place all the time. Here are 3D vibration inspiration in the eye of the storm. See, the eye of the storm is that dot, and the two rollabolas stacking up there. So that's where the eye of the storm comes from. And don't you love how the glyph that is sometimes called wind and that I call breath, one of the key code words is inspiration? I love that, 'cause it's true. Inspiration in the eye of the storm. It's given me those. I think you're going to like this one. Problem solving through spiritual communication. Now, if I had to tell you just one high vibration phrase with your whole chart, and I could just like hang up the phone after that, and nothing else, if you ever got anything else, nothing. Solving problems through spiritual communication. So easy. Next. Counterbalancing the hurricane through discernment. All right. Hurricane is not a negative thing. It is a natural thing, and you, sir, own it. Especially after age 42, and absolutely after age 52, you are a frickin' hurricane walking around on your double stack rollabola. I love it. And the way that is going to help you counterbalance that raw, somewhat scary to other people power of the hurricane. Huracan. You know this, right? One of the only words from the Mayan culture that ever made it into English is hurricane, which comes from Huracan, the god of wind, and also sometimes called Quetzalcoatl. What the fork? This is amazeballs. The only way... Oh, there's my little neighbor's dogs. I'm not going to say the only way. I'm going to say one perfectly easy way to counterbalance the potentially destructive forces of Huracan is through discernment. Okay, my friend, there's going to be times in your life when you just want to howl. And if you just use the appropriate amount, appropriate, I think I just clipped a syllable there, appropriate amount of discernment, you will counterbalance any negative potential outcomes. Have I made myself clear? Good. Now, one last thing. As I mentioned at the outset, you being born here on the 14th, 13th, 12 is tone 1 of the Traveler, initiating pilgrimage. Your whole life, especially again after age 52, will be about carrying the message of ebb, or e in Guatemalan pronunciation, the traveler, the sacred journey, the pilgrimage. Tone 1 is like a mini Big Bang, powerful. It pushes the whole energy all the way up and enough to keep going over and down. So, hidden within all of your energies that I've just described is initiating the sacred journey and anchoring the sacred journey. I just forgot. I just remembered to tell you who your birthday exemplars are for your Future Vision Guide. Now, this is freaky. There's quite a few of them. I'm going to have to divert my eyes to read the list. Here we go. Whoopi Goldberg, like it. Ruth Montgomery, cool. Shakti Gawain, yeah. Sir Ken Robinson, and Billy Graham. All right, so if you squeeze all of them together and put that in your pipe and smoke it. Oh, wow. Gosh. You, sir, chose your birthday impeccably, as you chose your parents just as well. All of them. I heard your story. Thank you so much for sharing. I love the work that you do. I am so happy to have connected with you in this small way. I'm happy to say, Een Lak'esh Alakin. I am another you. You are another me. I'm really excited to be a tiny little fractal of you. Namaste.